Today we're going to make some art based on Celtic knotwork, which is seen a lot over in Ireland and in Scotland. And the idea is they are knots that are all interconnected. There's not really an end to any of these knots that are all hooked together. So we're going to start with 4 pieces of one color, 4 pieces of another color. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And I'm going to take one of my piles and fold them in half like a book. Going to take my other pile and fold it the other direction so it looks like a hot dog. Okay. Then, so I don't break my scissors, I'm splitting my pile up. So I have 2 pieces in every pile. Now, here is our fold. That is something called a line of symmetry. If I draw a shape so it starts and ends on the fold, then when I cut this, it will be the same on both sides of the paper. And it's a good idea to check with a grown-up before you start cutting to make sure you've got your design drawn in the right place. It has to start and end on that fold. So I'm going to take my pencil and draw a half circle and repeat. I'm not making it super fat. And then I cut it. Because I do want 4 of these to be the same. This will give me 2. So I'm going to show you how we do that. Once it is cut, I can take this and make it eat my other piece of paper. It's taking a bite out of it. And then I trace what I just cut. Now I have my own homemade stencil. And then that one would get cut as well. Over here, I'm going to use crayons so you can see. I'm going to make a longer, skinnier shape. So it looks very different than my first. And you would do the same thing. Cut it out. I made sure my lines are touching the fold. I cut it out. Make it eat this paper and trace it. I've got my background paper. I wrote my name on my background paper with a crayon so I can see it. And now I'm taking all my pieces that I cut out and I'm figuring out where to lay them. So whatever you put on the left, you also want on the right, but it needs to go the other direction. So I'm gonna have one of these in each corner. And then because the knots are all kind of hooked together, I'm going to take my circles that I made and put them so part of it's under this shape and part of it's on top. It's okay if you need a little help. Now it all looks like it's hooked together. Remember where your parts are supposed to go and kind of hold them together that way. Flip it over and get glue on it, as much as you can anyway. And then stick it down. Whichever method works best for you. And this is one reason why we're going to use bottle glue. That way if it's not quite in the right spot, you can move it around to make it work.